Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Assemble. My name is High Ruler, and there it is, guys. There is the reveal of Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, this is going to be a very quick video, guys, just to give you guys some of my initial thoughts on it. If you're not already watching the stream where I'm with you guys, and if you're just here for kind of some more thoughts of mine, then, this is the video for you, right? So, honestly, guys, when I looked at Guardians, I was immediately kind of drawn in by the contrast between what Avengers is and what Guardians is, right? So Avengers is kind of a game, kind of deep in realism, right? Like the characters are very real, the costumes, for the most part, there are some that aren't, that are more realistic takes on the characters, right? Then you look at Guardians and it's very vibrant, it's very colorful. There's a lot going on there that really does drive a wedge between Avengers and Guardians. And I think that even extends to the character designs. The character designs I thought are really fucking good in Guardians, right? Whether that's, the new kind of haircut for Star-Lord or whether it's the tattoos on Drax, like there are some differences and some things taken liberty with, but overall, when I look at the characters, I'm able to identify each character very quickly and able to, ascertain that they are the characters that they say they are, right? There's no kind of weird things going on, and I'm not one to obviously complain about costumes or stuff, but, obviously when you look at the Guardians, like it is like these are the Guardians, right? So for me, when I look at the colorfulness, the characters, the vibrant, environments, the vibrant colors, vibrant characters, like for me, that is a very Guardians-esque way to present these characters. And I think they nailed it, honestly, whether it's going all the way back to the DNA run, or whether you were a fan of the Bendis run, or whether you were a fan of the Donnie run, or whether you're a fan of the Ewing run now. I think Guardians have always been about bringing together a very vibrant group of characters. And I think what this has done, even though it's the MCU cast, I think what they've done is they've really kind of taken their own spin on it, but it's not so much an own spin that will make you kind of go like, oh, like what are these? Like it's a spin where it's like, okay, like I see what you're going for and I respect that and I like it, and there it is, right? So for me, they've really nailed the character designs. The character voices I thought were really good. For me, it screams right away that this is a very different kind of approach to the Marvel universe than maybe what we've gone at Marvel's Avengers. And that's not to say Marvel's Avengers has failed in any of these regards, right? I still really enjoy the looks of the characters in Marvel's Avengers. I still enjoy kind of the takes of those characters in Marvel's Avengers. But I definitely think that the different approach and the contrast between the two styles has really upped the edge for Guardians to maybe more of that casual audience that has fallen out with Avengers. When it comes to the gameplay, if you guys remember in my pre-E3 video, I referenced a post on the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit that someone was going around saying that Star-Lord, it was going to be a single player Star-Lord game and that there's going to be no real team-based play within the game. And I think I said in my video that I didn't believe in, it sounded far-fetched and then whatever. Well, let me put the egg on my face, because whoever that was, and I have the screenshot, but I'm not going to out them. Whoever that was, like, congratulations. I don't know who your source was, but you nailed it, right? So, I mean, when I first saw it, I was like, okay, like, this is really interesting. Maybe this isn't, like, what I exactly wanted out of Guardians game, right? When I think of the Guardians, I want to play Groot, I want to play Rocket, Drax, Gamora, right? I don't just necessarily want to play as Star-Lord. But when I looked at the gameplay, right, you're able to, flick through the characters and then flick through their abilities. Like, there is a little bit of depth there that will kind of provide a little bit more of the fun factor, I believe, without being able to give you the full experience of playing those characters, right? Now, I just hope that the character combat of Star-Lord is deep enough to able to kind of, give you enough fun that you may be missing out on from the other characters, right? If the Star-Lord combat isn't as deep or as fun as, you may want, then you might kind of sit there and go, wow, I wish I could be playing some of these other characters, because at that point you're really lacking something there, right? So I hope that the Star-Lord combat is really good. Now, with that being said, obviously, there are probably going to be people who look at that and say, like, I wanted this or I wanted that. And I mean, of course, like, I do understand that. For me, of course, I really wanted to play as Groot or Rocket or Drax or Gamora, right? But, I just got to hope that the direction they've taken is probably the best one that they could. One of the things I'm really interested to see is if that singular focus on a character that you can play really is able to kind of flesh out a deep combat system. I don't know if it will, but here's the hoping, right? I think next, obviously, you gotta, we have to talk about like progression and stuff, right? Obviously, there's a leveling system, and we'll have to wait and see what kind of, skills or passives that you're able to unlock, right? I don't necessarily think this is gonna have loot attached to it, but I do think there is going to be some sort of like, differences of abilities, even though it may not be as deep or as crazy as what some of us may expect with Avengers, and that's saying something, right? So here's the thing. I definitely think there will probably be some sort of like, you're able to customize your characters to a degree, but I don't think it's going to be like super deep or super like meaningful to the point where it's going to be something you can tinker with, right? I think it'll be very much so like just put on your favorite stuff and just go with it, right? So, which I mean, could be cool, right? I don't necessarily think this is supposed to be a very deep experience. That could be wrong, right? That could totally be wrong once we get our hands on it. For me, this seems like a very much so fun experience where the whole point of the game is to provide a fun cosmic Marvel experience with some great story, with some great storytelling, and just really allow ourselves to kind of escape into that part of the Marvel universe, which is really great, mind you. Like, I'm really excited for that. So, I mean, that's really what I got to say, guys. Obviously, these are my first impressions and my thoughts on it, but in all honesty, if I could sum it up for you guys, I'm really excited. I'm really hopeful for this game to do really well. It seems like they've learned a lot of the stuff from Marvel's Avengers that people didn't like, the more casual audience, right? No games as a service, no DLCs, no microtransactions, right? If you're able to get costumes, you're going to get them through gameplay. You're going to be able to unlock them through different stuff, right? It seems like a lot of the stuff they've I don't know if it's necessarily learned, but it seems like there's two different objectives with these games, right? The Avengers was the games as a service, the more longer legs that, kind of carry the brand, whereas Guardians was supposed to be kind of like, and I don't want to say drop in the ocean, right? Because this game could make ripples depending on how good it is. But it seems like this game is never meant to have legs, right? And that could be a good thing or a bad thing, right? It could be a good thing in the sense that like it leaves you wanting more, gives them more room to work within a sequel and able to improve upon stuff. But it also is a bad thing because if it's really, really, really good and you don't get DLC, it's gonna be like, oh man, like I really wanted DLC for that. I really wanted expansion for that, right? So, I mean, it can go both ways, honestly. Like it's not gonna go one way or gonna go the other. I mean, we're gonna have to wait and see when we get our hands on it. But I mean, personally speaking, it seems like they're doing a lot of things that I like personally with the game, and I'm super excited for it, right? I really do like the Guardians, and obviously, I would have liked to see a more fleshed out roster, a bigger roster, able to swap in different characters to allow you to have more, different combat experiences based on the characters you're using. But it really seems like they're really wanting to tell a cohesive story through Star-Lord and his team, which means that obviously, it'd be very hard to just be able to swap in characters there and do other things like that. So, I mean, I can't be too mad about that as long as the narrative experiences backs that up, right? So hopefully it does. But I mean, with that being said, I mean, I look at Guardians and I'm super excited, I'm super hopeful, and I'm super, positive about this game. It seems like it's doing a lot of things right. But I mean, we'll have to wait and see when we get more information. We'll have to wait and see when we get our hands on it. And with that being said, guys, I mean, we'll have to just wait and see. But with that being said, those are my first impressions. Like I said, this is dropping, at the end of the stream. So come over here, leave your comments. I'd love to hear more from you guys. And with that being said, I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.